The 4B movement was actually started by women in South Korea back in 2019 as part of their version of the Me Too movement. The number 4 refers to dating, marriage, sex, and children.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Politics on Naija News. It's the week after election, days after election, the USA presidency election. We see a lot of stuff happening. We see stock markets crashing, rising, the boom, the bear. We see currencies going high and currencies dropping. We see stocks exchange and everything is affected. A lot of decisions come to power. So today we are diving into something big. Okay. There's a rising feminist movement taking hold across the United States, inspired by South Korea's 4Bs. For many, this movement's appeal has grown following former President Trump's controversial return to power.
In the wake of Donald Trump's historic win, there's a new movement sweeping America. Disappointed women are actually swearing off men.
There's no way I am letting any man near me for the next few years.
Trump's win has shaken up the conversation around the women's rights, leading some American women to seriously consider swearing off men altogether. But what's fueling this sentiment? And what does it tell us about the current political climate in the USA? To understand this movement, let's start with some context. The 4B movement originated in South Korea amidst increasing violence against women and persistent gender inequality. The term 4B stands for 4 principles in Korea, each starting with a by, meaning no. The 4B movement essentially rejects all forms of intimate relationship with men, including marriage, childbirth, dating, and even sexual relationships. South Korean women began to embrace this lifestyle after a protest against a culture that felt undervalued them, and now American women are starting to take notice.
4B movement.
The 4B movement.
The 4B movement.
So what is it, Ren?
Like so many other women in America who have been considering trying to get pregnant, I woke up today and said, nope, not anymore.
This woman is actually shaving her head in protest.
This movement's way more important now than ever.
This reaction is tied to Trump's stance on issues that resonate deeply with many women, from his derogatory comments about women to the recent sexual abuse case involving him. Trump's view on women's bodily autonomy, particularly regarding abortion, have also fueled anger. Many young women feel that Trump's policies, combined with his behavior, signal a fundamental disrespect for women's rights. However, there is an irony at play here. While the 4B movement claims to serve a form of punishment for men who supported Trump, the vote statistics reveal that Trump also won a substantial share of female votes, 40% to be exact.
Trump, baby! Trump, baby!
Is there a chance Kamala Harris could win?
Small chance.
You just won Pennsylvania.
I'm feeling great. I talked to this girl. She'll tell you. She's crying.
Oh, you're crying.
What? No, don't.
I'm feeling very hopeful. There's so much support for President Trump, and our country really just needs a new direction.
In July, when that man was shot, I believe God took his hand down and turned Donald Trump's head, and it saved his life. And at that moment, I said, okay, Lord, you're not done with this man. You just saved his life for a reason. I don't know what it is. I'm not God. But I have faith and I have confidence that Donald Trump is going to be around. And I'm hopeful that he will be our.
This raises a provocative question. Is this movement message consistent of a large number of women also voted for Trump? Are they aiming to punish only certain segments of voters, or is a broader societal critic? One of the movement's major criticism is Trump's role in overturning Roe v. Wade, the landmark Supreme Court decision that has ensured the right to abortion for nearly 50 years.
The fact that I was able to terminate Roe v. Wade after 50 years of trying, they worked for 50 years. I've never seen anything like it. They worked, and I was so honored to have done it. For 54 years, they were trying to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I did it, and I'm proud to have done it. Especially since I was proudly the person responsible for the ending of something that all legal scholars, both sides, wanted and, in fact, demanded be ended. Roe v. Wade.
If Roe v. Wade can fall, anything can fall. Social Security can fall. Medicare can fall.
This decision shifted responsibility of abortion laws to individual states, sparking fears that Trump, with strong influence over the Senate and the Supreme Court, might push for a federal abortion ban. Trump, in a video interview, he denied that he's not going to push for a federal abortion ban.
First of all, the Supreme Court just approved the abortion bill, and I agree with their decision to have done that, and I will not block it.
So the anxiety around this has left many women feeling vulnerable and uncertain about their bodily autonomy in this current political environment.
We're not going to settle for low-value men that don't respect us anymore.
Wild.
The fact that these crazos are out here, they're like, we're not touching men. I hope that means more for
Whether the women like it or not, I'm going to protect them.
So while Trump's rhetoric has often seemed dismissive of women's concern, he also played a role in reintroducing the 1873 Constitutional Act, a law that could restrict access to abortion-related medication.
But abortion access advocates are also eyeing other ways the Trump administration could try to federally limit abortion access. And one of the things they're eyeing is whether or not the administration would try to enforce an 1873 law called the Comstock Act that would basically make it illegal to mail abortion medication, abortion pills being the most popular common form of abortion medication in the country, guys.
Women's rights groups now face a daunting prospect that Trump's administration might revive this outdated legislation, posing yet another barrier to reproductive freedom. Despite this, there are another layer of complexity to consider: the economy. Exit polls show that many voters, women included, prioritize economic issues like inflation and the cost of living over reproductive rights.
For me, it's not personal, it's policy.
What he did for the economy, what he did for the Black community, what he did in terms of trying to secure the border.
I think it goes back to finances. You know, the grocery bills, the energy costs, gasoline, just all of that. When people's paychecks are affected, especially as a mother. Or
we're looking at 2019. Are we better now? And the answer is no, we're not. Seeing a situation where no one really wants to say how they really feel because there's such divisive rhetoric happening.
I have friends who own small business, government workers, and a lot of them are actually supporting President Trump because the future of our children is at stake.
They're just not saying it out loud.
Correct.
These facts hint that while women's rights are crucial, they weren't necessarily the decisive factor in this election. Even as Democrats championed abortion rights, many voters felt more immediate pressures such as housing costs and job security taking the precedence. So, what does this mean for the future? If the 4B movement is indeed gaining momentum in the USA, it could signal a significant cultural shift, with more women choosing to forgo traditional relationships in response to political dissatisfaction. Yet, for this movement to have a long-term impact, it must address its internal contradiction and find common ground with those it aims to support. In the end, the rise of the 4B movement in America speaks to the large discontent surrounding Trump's policies and personal conduct. It also reveals an evolving political landscape where personal choices, such as marriage and relationships, are being increasingly influenced by political beliefs. Well, stay tuned to Let's Talk Politics on Naija Anchor News as we continue to unravel this complex dynamic shaping up not only the USA but global attitude towards gender equality and political expression. Thank you for watching. Drop your opinions in the comment section. Let's talk politics and see you next time.